Hey everyone, I'm your host, Angela Zatopek, and welcome to the Engage Arlington Passion Week Collaborative. Today's day 4 of the 6 days of the Passion Week, and as you may know, we're bringing you guys daily brief messages from a group of growing churches across the city of Arlington. In groups of 3, pastors are teaching on the last 7 words that Jesus spoke. Today's word is distress. So let's hear what Pastor Ronnie Goins, Pastor Deborah Crumpton, and Pastor Eric Herstrom have to say.
Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Ronnie Goins here at the Koinonia Christian Church in Arlington, Texas. I've been tasked to speak on distress. The word distress in the Bible is dysphoria. Dysphoria has to do with misfortune, the anxiety that's created when a series of events has happened that leaves you feeling, in a real sense, unlucky. My word today is that no matter what situation you find yourself under, no matter how heavy your distress may get, keep answering your phone because the King may be giving you a call. Never feel that where you are in your former, the things you've been through and the press you've been under, when things weren't going right, when things were going fine, then the bottom fell out, and now all of a sudden you feel like where I am is where I'll always be. So no matter where your distress may find you, never feel that you're not worthy of a call from the King.
When Jesus says these words on the cross, I am thirsty, it is hard for me to fully comprehend and understand that. I mean, this is Jesus. This is the one who encountered the woman at the well in Samaria and asked her for a drink of water. And when she said, how is it that you, a Jew, would ask a drink of me? He essentially says to her, you know what? If you would have asked me for water, I would have given you. And the water that I will give you, you will never thirst again. Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, Luke tells us that his perspiration is so great. He's drenched. He's sweating drops of blood. There's fluid coming from his body. And then after that, we understand the Roman process of crucifixion, where a person is denied water. So Jesus has been arrested. He has been tortured by the Romans. He has been flogged to the point that his skin has been torn on his body. He has a crown of thorns. He's been stripped of his clothing, and he's been pierced in his side. So, yes, his body is depleted. He is becoming dehydrated. So when Jesus says, I thirst, it is a physical thirst within his body. His body is shutting down. His organs are shutting down. He has a physical thirst. But there is a spiritual part of it. We hear Jesus say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? There's a separation between him and God. So there's a spiritual thirst that he knows that he's taken on the suffering in the agony, his body in distress. It is a physical thirst, but it's also that spiritual thirst to fulfill God's plan that he may redeem humanity.
When I experience thirst, it's usually after a run or cycling or perhaps even after I mow the yard on a hot day. But I want us to think about and put ourselves in the shoes of Jesus for a moment. The physical suffering that he bore on the way to the cross was excruciating. The wounds inflicted upon him in the scourging, the crowning with thorns, losing blood on that 3-hour walk through the city of Jerusalem to Golgotha, and the nailing upon the cross are now all taking their toll on him. He may have even been in shock at this point. And here's what we read in John 19:28. Jesus says, I thirst. The divine, holy, perfect God who came to walk with us on earth is now expressing and even illustrating his humanity in the most basic of ways. I thirst. And this, for us, is a beautiful reminder that Jesus, the God-man, is the only worthy sacrifice that could take the place of man for humanity's collective past, present, and even future sin. And as Jesus continues to move toward the cross, what he's about to do will quench our thirst eternally, like a cup of cold water on a hot Texas day. You see, death is the path and forgiveness is the objective. His death on the cross isn't just to bring us to a morally neutral state, but one that puts his righteousness in us. So the longing we all have to be accepted by him has been flipped. Rather, he accepts us and offers his righteousness to us so that we can know this gracious and holy God. So when we, like the woman at the well, expresses our need for a drink or conveys our thirst, Jesus can now say, as he did then, "Whoever drinks of the water that I will give him will never be thirsty again. The water that I will give him will become in him a spring of water welling up to eternal life." You see, Jesus thirsted so you wouldn't have to.
What great messages for us to just use to reflect on in our hearts about the sacrifice that Jesus made, and just shows us how much he loves us. We are so thankful you're here today. We hope you enjoy those messages, and please come back tomorrow, day 5 of the Passion Week. But don't forget, today's worship song is in a link below in our info section, and we will be back tomorrow, day 5 of the Passion Week. I feel like it's like Super Bowl for Christians here. Day 5, we're here. No, but day 5 of the Passion Week, we'll be talking about the word sacrifice. That's a good one. Hope to see you then.